video, and it would have been great. Hi, Jose. Oh, I'm going to apologize too for my dogs. I left the door open. Go outside, Chloe. Come here. Go outside. Just go. Go. Out the door. Go outside right there. Right here, Chloe. Sorry. Gotta get. Hi, Jose. Okay.
Sorry, I'm browsing my computer. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right.
I can give it a couple of minutes. We got some more people coming on. The first thing I would like to say is everyone, for your homework has to go outside if you're not there already, because it's like 73 degrees out. It's beautiful. Happy spring. I have my spring shirt on today. I'm welcoming the spring and summer coming soon.
And here I am all covered in sweaters because I'm cold.
Why are you
Imagine
cold?
that.
Where are you?
I'm cold today.
I have my door open over here because my dogs come in and out and they bark every time anybody else, the wind blows, they bark. So I left the door open so they could just come and go.
Very nice.
I have animals in here and bugs and all kinds of stuff. All right, oh, there's more people coming on. All right, should we start? Am I starting, or am I being introduced by the powers that be? Just me?
You can start, Kristen.
What's
Sorry.
that?
You could start.
Okay.
But you have to either speak, either fix your microphone or something, but it's very low.
It's hard to hear me?
Yeah, it's your voice, and I had the volume up, so you're very good.
I know. Let me just go yell at my dogs and then
Oh, yell at the dog.
Okay, so sorry about that. Those are my animals that bark like crazy when they hear anything outside. So anyway, they're outside now. We're good to go. So I'm Kristen Polisic, Guaranteed Rate Affinity. I'm here with Jose today. He's my counterpart. So today we are going to talk about delayed financing. You know, as from what I hear from all of you out there, and I see it, you know, Jose and I both see it with our clients and our borrowers, that it's frustrating, you know, 100 pre-approvals later, which we don't mind sending out, but it's very frustrating when offers are not getting accepted. So this is a strategy that we have that you guys can use if it fits. As you know, everybody has to fit in a box, right? So, you know, the people that can do this is a really great tool to win the bidding war. I'm going to share my screen. And again, I'm not even sure which one. Okay, let me just make sure I'm on the right one. I am not a computer expert. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it either. Oh, come on. All right, hold on.
I can see your screen. It says delayed financing.
Oh, you can see it? So I have another
Yes.
screen over here. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. So I did it. I'm not even sure how to change it, but I'm going to figure it out. Okay, so we're talking about delayed financing today. What is it? Again, very simple. I have no pictures. I didn't get Chris DiBiase on this one. So basically what delayed financing is, in a nutshell, is your buyer can come in and pay cash for a property and then immediately turn around and refinance it with us. So we will have everything set up on the back end. So they can go in, have a very quick closing. It's cash. So there's no appraisal. They're not waiting for anything. They can get this property very quickly, and everybody is comfortable with a cash offer. Unfortunately, that's kind of where we are right now. And it is, use it as a tool to win in a bidding war. And that is what it is in a nutshell. A couple of like requirements or, it is a cash out refinance that we have to do. So they will have to get a loan after, but there are some requirements that we have to follow. A minimum FICO of 620 or higher. It really just depends on the situation. Anybody that's done a loan or, has been involved in the loan process with us, that nothing is ever like a straight answer. It seems there's always requirements and different things that need to be done, and it's all dependent on the person, their entire scenario. So we look at a bunch of different things. So yes, 620 will work in some cases. In other cases, it may have to be a little higher depending on a debt to income ratio or whatever the case may be. So once we start the process, we are going to do what I said, like I said, a cash out refinance so they can recoup their cash. The new loan amount cannot be higher than what they paid for the house. That's including the purchase price, closing costs, any prepaid fees, any points that they paid, anything like that. The original purchase has to be what's called an arm's length transaction. It's like a tongue twister. I'm surprised I said it right. That means they can't be related to the person. They can't like buy it from buy a house with cash from their parents or their boss or their friends, and then get delayed financing on it. The other thing they'll need to do is provide proof that they paid cash, like a closing disclosure, a settlement. You can't just do the delayed financing. Normally, when you buy a purchase, if you wanted to turn around and cash out on it or do a refinance, you have to wait. The requirement is 6 months. But with delayed financing, you set it up ahead of time that this is how we're going to do it. And you can do it immediately as soon as you take ownership of the house. We can turn around and start the process and get it done very quickly. If somebody were to, let's say, take out from their 401k and they have 60 days to put the money back or there's a penalty, we can get that done so that they can replenish their 401k. So there's no, so there won't be any, penalty for them. So like I said, you need to prove that they paid cash. You have to share documentations that source the funds that you use to purchase the house. One of the things that, you have to remember or we have to let them know is that if they do get gift funds for a purchase, like they get a gift from family to purchase the house, they can't reimburse the donor. So that's not part of the cash out. It can't go back to the person unless they take out like a loan, let's say from their, a private loan from a family member or whatever. And then sourcing the funds. If you used an unsecured loan or a loan secured by an asset other than the subject property, like a HELOC from another property, it must, for the refinance transaction, must reflect all the cash out goes back to that loan. So it's got to pay off that loan. And they will check, like you can't just take the cash and not pay off that loan. And then any payments on the balance remaining from the original loan must be included in the debt to income ratio. So if there's anything left over and there's any payment, we have to include that. So all of this stuff has to be, upfront. We will go through the process and let them know. Things to think about. Oh, sorry, I misspelled things to think about. Documentation issues. There can be documentation issues. Oh, I did add something to this. So anyway, documentation issues. If they can't prove that they paid cash or they are not giving us the required documents, they may run into issues with actually doing the cash out refinance. The other thing to think about is an appraisal issue. As we know, appraisals everything's inflated. Houses are going for 50,000, I think, average over asking. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. So in a cash situation, you may luck out and pay what they're asking because it's cash and they feel comfortable, that they know that the mortgage isn't going to fall through. But when you do the cash out refinance, an appraisal is required. So we will have to go back, appraise the house to do the cash out. And that's really the only really two issues are if it doesn't appraise, you may not be able to recoup all your cash. And as a normal, with a normal, cash out refinance, there is an 80% loan to value. So you can't take out 100% of the purchase price. You can take 80% out. So it would be like purchasing a house and putting a 20% down payment. Okay. And then this was I'm going to actually send this out to everybody. If I'll get emails, I guess, from Rick, who was on the call. Sorry, I know my dog's going to start barking again. I really apologize. So this is a flyer that you can show your buyers. This is something that you can offer. You can send this out as, you know, if you have a drip campaign with clients. You know, obviously there's a certain demographic that's going to be able to do something like this. I mean, you have to be able to have cash to do it, or figure out a way to get cash. So anyway, I'm going to get this with my information on it. I can co-brand it with you, so we can put my information and your information, or Jose, if you're working with Jose, you know, we can definitely get that done. So I'll be sending this out if you want it, to you guys. I do have other flyers. I sent a bunch to Chris. So if you're interested in flyers, just to show or to email, you know, your database, we have hundreds of flyers. So I'm happy to go through something maybe that you're interested in, a loan product for a certain, you know, client, or, you know, a certain demographic. We can definitely do that. But I'll get this one to I have to get it to my marketing department first. So, I mean, this wasn't a super long presentation, but I think it's an important one to have, you know, an awareness of, so that you can.
Let me chime in there if you don't mind, Kristen, for
Yeah, Jose.
everybody. I'm glad everybody's here. Please, if you don't mind, you can unmute your phone. If you have any questions about this option that we're presenting you, we feel that, and we also listened to the how to win the frigging deal presentation that Rick did. And this was one of the options that was suggested during the call. And we would ask you, please, if you have questions about this, to let us know. So how to present this, how to structure this? Obviously, cash is king. So the question is, how can we pull this cash together that hopefully buyers may have, so they can buy a home? Well, they can access their investment portfolios if they have it. They could do also their retirement account if they have the money in their retirement account, or they can pull money from different family members who may be able to help them financially. If they decide to get money from a family member, it will have to be structured as a loan. It cannot be a gift. As Kristen mentioned previously, the delay financing is used to pay off any debt or money that you borrow to buy the property cash, okay? Plus any closing costs. So that would be a way to structure the transaction and to present it to your buyers. What else I can tell you about the program? Again, Kristen mentioned it, 80% loan to value. So in reference to the appraisal, more than likely, I'm going to assume that even a buyer who's paying cash for a property is going to get that investment appraised. I'm guessing they are. So we will have at least a baseline to start with. Hopefully the property will appraise, so the delay financing will be easier. And the reason why this is important is because mortgage insurance option is not, well, mortgage insurance is not an option. It has to be 80% loan to value financing. Any questions about this option?
I have a
Any
question.
suggestions, please?
Just quickly. So had a cash buyer, but because they were buying cash, they didn't wind up doing the appraisal. Do you recommend they do the appraisal, you know, before like starting this process, or start the process and then the appraisal will be done?
I personally believe that you should do the appraisal. It's part of the process of buying a property, even if you're buying it cash. And the reason why also I would recommend having an appraisal done is because the lender is going to order their own appraisal, right? Unless, say, the worst scenario happens and the lender's appraisal comes in less than originally thought. I like to put two professionals against one another. So if you got one appraisal that reads that is higher and you have a lender appraisal that says is lower, I like those to go at it so we can justify the value. So I always prefer to have two experts fight it out, if that makes sense to you.
Yes. And then the other question is, someone was using the terminology, I think, a technical refinance. And so there was a little confusion. So can you tell me is that a terminology? Have you heard that a tech refinance or technical refinance?
A technical refinance?
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Sounds fancy and pretty, but in my opinion, it is just a simple cash out refinance, which is what we are essentially why this option works is because technically a homeowner who buys a property is not allowed to do a refinance on the property unless they have held the title or they have had the mortgage for at least 6 months, right?
Correct.
So in this case, you are doing a refinance, a cash out refinance immediately after you buy the property. Hence the term delay financing. I guess if you want to give it a technical term to make it fancy and
Yeah.
drum up curiosity, that's doable.
Yeah, actually, if you do Google it, it says, it sounds like it's the same, it's called technical refinance. And the only reason why I'm saying it is that somebody's using it, because someone I'm working with is like, oh, but it's technical refinance, and I think there was some confusion, but it sounds like technical refinance is the same thing as this delayed.
So delayed financing.
Yeah.
Lending guidelines require that if you're going to do a cash out refinance on a property, you must have owned the property for at least 6 months before you can do a cash out refinance. This option that the agencies allow us to use, delayed financing, allows us to do a cash out refinance on the property that was purchased under the 6-month time period.
And
So
what are the-
essentially, the way it will be done is that you have your borrower start the process of, or your buyer start the process of buying their home cash. And while they're doing that, they can start the process with their mortgage company, with Kristen or with myself, or any other of our very capable loan officers, start the process of preparing the file. And as soon as that is settled cash, immediately we can start the process of finishing the financing.
So that I would
to our end.
recommend anyway, getting it set up first to make sure they are qualified to get it.
Yeah,
back. So
exactly.
they have cash, they may be retired, but they're living off their cash. There are products and ways we can do it with cash in a bank account, like a retirement account we can do. You know, we have definitely have options for people who are retired and have a lot of cash. So that's something we want to make sure up front that we can get them qualified for the amount they want to take out. So I would recommend doing that right up front, you know, and then, you know, when they do get the offer accepted with cash, then we can turn around and we'll have it ready to go. We just click proceed and we're doing it. And I think somebody asked, how long do you estimate it to process? It's a loan. So I say 30 days as an average. It depends on appraisal. It depends on title. It depends. We have a lot of third parties that we depend on to get a loan to closing. So if everybody does what they need to do, we can get it done in a 30-day period. If things get delayed for one reason or another, you know, we're always communicating that to you guys to let you know. But we do our best to get it done in 30 days, especially if somebody has pulled out of their 401k and we know we're on a time crunch, we got to get it done. Borrowers have to be on it though. They have to be able to get us documents when we ask for them. And, you know, and again, like I said, appraisers and attorneys and insurance, like those are the 3 third parties that we use that can delay a process. So we try to, like Jose and I have our teams and people that we trust and people that we love using because of that. We know they're going to get us what we need when we need it.
Any other questions about this topic? No worries. Very good.
Else? Julie, I think you're trying to say something. We can't hear you. Oh, you have your hand up. You're unmuted, but you're very muffled.
No. Julie, you have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now we
Yeah,
can.
there you go.
Okay, good. Well, I'm a new agent, so I just want to know what is the proper documentation that you would need that the deal was paid with cash?
So we would need to show proof of the like a closing disclosure or something,
Yep.
a closing statement from the attorney to show that it was paid in cash.
Okay,
That's one of the documents we need. Settlement documents, recorded trustee deed showing that no mortgage was used to obtain the property. That's what we really want to show.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else? Anybody want 2 dogs? They're driving. Just kidding. I love my dogs. I would never give them up.
Yep. Well, if there are no other questions, I think that's it. please, if you think of any other topic that you may have heard, come across, read online, or anything like that, that you feel that you would like to have a conversation about, please let us know.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
We will be happy to do the research. We're happy to do to make sure that we are getting the proper information to you and that we're sharing the proper information with our customers. And yes, Ida, we will send documents or copies of those flyers that Kristen mentioned. We're going to have our department do that.
Yep. And we are, I'm just putting my information in the chat. I think that's my email, and then I'm going to put my website. The website has, and this is another thing you can do. It's really quick to sign up for agent. It's called Agent Advantage. You can go in and sign up, and there's a whole lot of like tools that you can use for open houses. And, you know, I'm happy to, that's a whole nother lunch and learn, or, you know, seminar, but I'm happy to go through it with you guys. But I will put my website up here too. It's a good way to, if you have clients and you need them to reach out to me, it's all my contact information. Jose also has a website. So either one of us, they can just click on the link and it will have my picture and it'll have all my contact information and my apply now link if they want to fill out the application immediately. Otherwise, I'm happy to have a conversation first. And again, I'll put my cell phone number too, so you guys can feel free to reach out anytime. I'm available 7 days a week, as is Jose. We don't stop. Right, Jose?
You're absolutely right. Delighted to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. I sent this in 4 different little,
I think that's it, right?
yeah, I think that's
Thanks,
it.
everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Go outside
Thank
and enjoy the
you.
weather.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.